Reprieve for Botswana man facing the death penalty and London alive with Olympic spirit. Good evening, I'm Greg Hoos with your news at 6 o'clock. A Botswana national wanted for murder in his own country is free to remain in South Africa. The Constitutional Court has ruled that Jerry Pale cannot be deported or extradited to Botswana unless that country gives the assurance that he won't be sentenced to death. But Botswana has refused to give such an assurance, meaning if convicted, he could face the death penalty. After fleeing to South Africa, he was charged under immigration laws but was later released on bail. He's also obtained a court interdict preventing his rearrest and detention on those charges. Justice Edwin Cameron says Pale is protected under South Africa's constitution.
The judgment holds that Mr. Pale has the right to dignity, the right to life, and the right not to be treated or punished in a cruel, inhuman, or degrading way. The state is obliged to respect, protect, and fulfill these rights, and will be acting in breach of the rights if it surrenders Mr. Pale to Botswana without the assurance.
NPA prosecutor Glynis Breitenbach has filed papers in the Bargaining Council challenging her suspension. Meanwhile, the disciplinary hearing into her conduct has been adjourned to next month in Pretoria. The second witness, William Gloucester, took the stand today. He's an internal investigator at the organization and the one who filed criminal charges against Breitenbach. She's facing 15 charges. She was suspended in April allegedly for misconduct in handling a mining rights case she was working on. Gloucester admitted that he downloaded Breitenbach's emails on the server on the instruction of the head of investigation.
I just came through it quickly and I don't know why, I just read it. I don't know why. Because it came from an NPA email address, but it was not a private thing. Only after I saw what it was that I realized that it was private. That was not my intention. I did not suggest the charge. I handed it over and said, please look at this.
COPE has described as scandalous government's failure to live up to its promise to provide flushing toilets for Garten residents outside Sasolburg in the Free State. Residents have been waiting for 9 years for toilets after their RDP settlement was built without a bulk sanitation system. They've been forced to use buckets or dig up their backyards for makeshift toilets. After the SABC exposed their plight, the Human Settlements Minister promised that residents would get toilets from the beginning of this month, but nothing has happened. COPE's Dennis Bloem.
It's a disgrace. The government is not taking people serious. They have promised that they will do something from March up until today. No reaction at all from them. It's empty promises again.
The pilot of a helicopter which crashed at Keiskammerhoek today has been confirmed dead. Eastern Cape disaster management teams had to walk about 15 kilometers to the site of the crash. The helicopter went down in bad weather with only the pilot on board. He was dousing a mountain fire when the accident happened. A senior United Nations official says DRC rebels who defected have confirmed that they were recruited in Rwanda. The Rwandan government has repeatedly denied involvement in the fighting. The BBC's Martin Plout.
There's accumulating evidence of the involvement of Rwanda in the fierce fighting in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Speaking off the record, a senior United Nations peacekeeping official described the debriefing of 30 former members of the M23 movement. The former rebels said they'd been recruited in Rwanda but were sent into Congo.
The British Prime Minister David Cameron says his country is ready to put its best foot forward ahead of the official opening of the 2012 London Olympic Games tonight. He was speaking just hours before the opening ceremony of the Games.
I think it's a great opportunity to show the world the best of Britain, a country that's got an incredibly rich past, but actually a very exciting and vibrant future. Someone asked me yesterday, what face of Britain do you want to put forward? Is it Blur or the Beefeaters? And frankly, it's both. We've got a great past, a very exciting future, and this is a great moment for our country, so we must seize it.
A look now at the top story at 6 o'clock. A Botswana national wanted for murder in his own country is free to remain in South Africa. The Constitutional Court has ruled that he cannot be deported or extradited to Botswana unless that country gives the assurance that he won't be facing the death penalty.